Outside the Box. Standing by to join me is Tova Friedman. She is one of the youngest survivors of Auschwitz-Birkenau. And she's written this wonderful book, The Daughter of Auschwitz, with Malcolm Brabant. He's not with us now, but I have the pleasure of speaking with Tova right now. Thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We spoke on my other show, and I felt like we didn't have enough time, so I wanted to have you on this show. I feel that your book is very timely in that I had mentioned there's so much anti-Semitic behavior right now.
Right.
What's your take on that?
It's very, very scary. And I think the world hasn't learned. We've always been scapegoats. The Jews have been scapegoats, and here we go again. So it is very scary. For me, it's almost unbelievable, you know, because you leave Europe with all the anti-Semitism and everything, and you come to America, which is such an open, fabulous country,
Yes.
accepting everybody, a
Yes.
melting pot. And a number of years later, of course, I find myself in a situation that it's really extremely worrying.
Yes, yes. Tell me how this book came about. I know you know Malcolm Brabant, and I'm going to show everybody the book.
Yeah.
But how did you meet Malcolm?
Oh, I was in Poland. It was the 75th anniversary of liberation of Auschwitz, and he came from London. London, I don't know, but from England, where
Okay.
he did a lot of. He is the PBS correspondent, European correspondent, and he interviewed me. He made a very short but very effective, I thought, video that appeared to PBS. And about a whole year later, he called and he said, let's try to write a book. And I said, oh, how can that be? You know, he is a man, he's not Jewish, he lives in London or in England. How are we going to do that?
Yes.
So, but we did.
We did. What was it like? I mean, what are your earliest memories? Here you were 5 years old.
No, my earliest memories are before that, you know, like in the ghetto.
Yes.
When I was 2, 3, 4. Yeah, around that time when we all lived in a ghetto. And I grew up on hunger, on shooting, on fear. In fact, I couldn't believe that anybody else lived in a different way. When I came to America, I remember I was in 8th grade and I met this little girl and she said to me, oh, I got to play piano. I hate it so much, but I've been playing since I'm 4 or 5 and I really have to do it. And I said, you're 4 and 5? She was my age. She said, yes. And I said to myself, she was playing the piano while I was in the ghetto. It was a wake-up call.
Sure.
Not everybody lived like that.
Yes. Did you share this with as a child?
It's the first time I'm telling it to you.
Really?
Yeah. You know, this is the thing about memoirs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember everything right away.
That's right.
Your body, you know.
Yes.
We only had 6 months to write the book. So whatever I remembered.
Yes.
But things come up constantly.
Sure. It is very grounding, because I think to myself, which is why I wanted to have you and have this conversation again, is how do you think you were able to be so resilient and strong at a time when it was so scary?
You know, I had there was a Jewish word, or I don't know how to translate it. It's sort of you do just the opposite. Like if somebody wants to tell you that you're ugly or that you're stupid, there's some people who fall apart, and
Yes.
other people say, really? You really think so? Well, let me show you something, you know, something like that.
Yes.
And I had that second. I had let me, really? You mean I am a worm? I'm not important. I'm not intelligent. I deserve to die. Really? I had that thing.
Where do you think that comes from? Did that come from a grandparent? Did they just come in?
No, I never knew my grandparents.
Okay.
It's, I have to say, Judaism is a very strong religion,
Mhm.
and I'm not very religious, but I love reading the Bible.
Mhm.
The Jew, and it sort of lifts up the human being in being special. Like you have to take care of yourself, you have to be healthy, you have to wash yourself physically. It's a kind of self-care that I sort of became part of my life.
Incredible. Now, you were separated from your mom
Yes.
for how long?
um about 5 months, I would say. I was in Auschwitz about 6. No, I don't, all the days, maybe it's in a book. I
Okay.
don't know the
That's
exact
okay.
dates. And one month, the first month, I was with her until I got very ill, and they took away the ill people. They would either kill them or put them in a room somewhere without doctors, just to separate them, because the Germans themselves were afraid of epidemics, because they themselves would be afraid to touch the sick people, because they would be,
Right.
infected with
Yeah,
some
sure.
disease. So they put me into a hospital without doctors, shut the door, and apparently like 5 or 6 weeks later, I had scarlet fever and
Oh,
diphtheria. My mother told me that. I didn't know what these diseases were. I just remember the effects. The
yes.
pus, my teeth, I couldn't open up my eyes, I couldn't see.
Oh,
And I came out, but then they took me away from her. Once I never came, I didn't see her till the end.
so how long was that?
I don't know. I think about 4 months, four, five
Yeah.
months, something like that.
So who did you gravitate towards other adults? I mean, how did you get through that being away from your
No,
mom?
no. You went to the children's place.
The children's section.
They had children's section where they were waiting to kill the children. It was a special section. They put us into a called the gypsy camp, because they had killed all the gypsies. Complete families were destroyed in a very short time. 400,000, a very big number of gypsies. Well, let's
Good.
not call them gypsy, gotta call them Roma. That's the name we used at the time.
Sure.
And when their camp was was empty, they brought the children there from all over. There were children in all different barracks.
Did you ever see any of these children again?
Uh, well, I knew some of the children, 2 children I knew, three children, because they were in my ghetto
Okay.
together, and I
Yes.
know them. So one of them, I saw all three of them after the war, because that barrack survived. We all survived in that barrack.
Incredible.
Again, a miracle. How do we know why?
Exactly. Absolute miracle. And then when you were reunited with your mom, talk about
Yeah,
the ultimate miracle.
yeah. I think everything was a miracle.
Yeah.
I think now that things are happening to me. I mean, I'm a pretty old lady, 84. I did well. Well, look, I am. I mean, I'm not going to. I'm not going to say I'm 84 young. I'm 84 years old, and it's good. I don't mind at all. I'm happy to be. I want to get older, so
Good.
I'm okay
Good.
about.
84 years wise, I would say. Very wise.
No, not so good. Not so
Not so
wise.
wise?
Nah, nah, it's a myth. It's a myth about elderly being wise. I wish it was true, but wisdom does not necessarily come with age. It comes with the right people.
That's
Some
true.
people can be wise, and some people die as stupid as they were born. So,
Yes.
well,
This is
anyhow,
true.
uh, okay, I forgot the question.
No, I was going to ask, why was it so important for you to write this story?
Oh, so first, at my age, I wanted, we all want to be remembered. And I thought, oh gosh, who's going to remember me? I'm going to be, who remembers the people that died 10 years ago? I mean, you sometimes go to the cemetery, but time, time helps you forget things. And then I said, well, first of all, I want to be that this is the very last generation
Yeah.
that has the memories, and from now on, when we're all gone, you will only see us in movies and television, and some people one day will come and say it didn't happen. And I wanted to make sure that people know that it did happen, and I can show that it happened, and also so that I want to remember those that aren't with us.
Yes.
I really represent. I'm a witness, and Hitler said no witnesses. That was his biggest thing. No witnesses. And what's one of the reasons he killed the children as quickly as possible?
Because he didn't want witnesses?
Exactly. He wanted no witnesses. And who was the best witness at a child? They'll grow up. They've got, I mean, he knew that they will live way before, longer than he will, war or not war,
Yes. Yes.
So he wanted to get rid of us as quickly as
Yes.
possible. And so I sort of represent those children that were murdered, 1.5 million Jewish children. And in my town, from all these hundreds of children, 6 children survived. No, wait a minute. I'm even adding one. No, 5. 5 children. 5. And I am the youngest.
Oh my gosh, Tova.
So, and right now, there's one living in Germany, one living in Boston, and me.
And you.
That's it. That's it.
When you were a child, did you have this sense of fear all the time, or deep inside, did you feel like you were going to come out of this?
No, I never thought there was anything else. I didn't know what this was. I thought that that's how people live.
Really?
Well, look, when you are 2 years old and 1 year old, and all you know is hunger and shooting, you don't know school.
Yes.
You don't have any toys.
That is true.
You don't have trips, vacations. You don't have restaurants. You have nothing.
Nothing. What about when you were 5? Did you feel like you had this feeling that you were going to make it, or you never occurred to you?
No, never.
No.
At one point, I had it when I was given my number.
Yeah.
I was tattooed. The 18-year-old, to me, she was, of course, very old. She was about a teenage, 18, 19 years old. And she said to me, when you get old, if you survive this. And then I said, "Ooh, I'll survive." Didn't even know what that was. Buy yourself a long sleeve shirt, cover it up so that nobody would know anything about it, as if I did something terrible. And I said, okay. She was talking like this to me while she was tattooing me, and I was watching.
You were watching her do it. Did it hurt?
I watched every single dot. I don't know. It probably didn't hurt that much because I don't remember pain.
Yes.
I remember the numbers appearing one after the other. And then she told me what she wrote.
Wow. And how old were you? 5, 4?
5.5.
5.5.
Almost 6. I was very close to 6 because I had my 6th birthday in Auschwitz.
And then how soon did you leave?
My birthday was in September. January 27th, right, was the liberation. So September, October, November, December, January. I was sick. I was 6.5 when the war ended. When the Russians came.
What happened after that?
Well, we stayed a long time in Auschwitz. I and my mother, we had no idea where we were. It was like you had to sit still, to figure out what happened here. And my mother taught me about how to eat, because people ate like crazy, and they got very, very sick after 5, 6 years of fasting like that.
Yes.
Of hunger.
Yes.
You can't just eat. And the Russians cooked all kinds of meals. So my mother walked around with me and taught me only eat bread, and then put some butter on the bread a few days later, and then put sugar. She got my stomach used to it. And then we walked around the camp a little bit. She showed me all kinds of places. She showed me whether she as if she wanted me to remember.
Mm-hmm.
As if she knew. My mother knew when she was going to die.
She did?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever wrote that. I don't know if I said them. Well, yeah, she died at 45. And at 2 days before, I was going on a trip to Israel, my first trip. It was a college trip from Brooklyn College. I was 18, and I went shopping with her, and in the neighborhood. And when I said, "Mom, I'm buying clothes. Why don't you buy something for yourself?" She said, "I need shrouds." You know what shrouds are? Those are her words.
What?
And she died 2 days later. I didn't even know she was dead because I was still on a ship.
Mm.
I took a ship to Israel.
How did you find out? From a relative?
No,
No.
nobody told me until I got home 6 weeks later. They didn't want to spoil my vacation. I don't know how people think.
I know.
You
Yeah.
know, they thought they're doing something good for me.
Yes.
They wanted to spare me as long as possible because I was so close to her. We were just the two through Auschwitz, through everything, and I'm 18 and she's dead.
Mm. Where was this picture taken?
Oh, that's a picture. I was in a DP camp. We were all in a displaced people's camp in Germany, and they discovered that I had TB, tuberculosis.
Mhm.
So they took me to a sanatorium. I was there for about 9 months, and it was very far for my mother to visit. She had no money. She was traveling, and this was one of her visits, and we were sitting outside the sanatorium on a bench. And she was telling me how much that I make sure to drink a lot of carrot juice because TB is responds to carrot juice. I don't know how she got the idea. And I'm talking to her, and the man, a German man, passes by with a camera and says to my mother, "Can I take a picture of the two of you?" She said, "Sure." He says, "Okay, keep on talking, look at each other." So we did. He took one picture only. And then a few weeks later, I found this picture at the sanatorium. He asked me, "Where do you live?" I pointed to the building. It was a big building in back of the where we were sitting. And that's the picture. It's my favorite picture of me and my
A
mother.
beautiful picture.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And these pictures that are in the book.
Yeah. Well, this is my mother who
Mhm.
took a picture at a photographer's right after liberation. I don't remember if it was in Poland or Germany. Must have been. My father was back already. Could have been in Germany. I don't remember, but I know she said I need a good picture, and she posed for it. And what you see from my father was a miracle again. Somebody in Germany, about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, sent me this picture, and it had the picture
Somebody sent you this picture.
of my father,
Yeah.
and it's a picture that he lived. He was 23 years old, not married. He was going for the first time. He left his hometown to go to Danzig for a convention, and he applied for like a little passport because Danzig was a free city. It didn't belong to anyone. You needed a passport to go there, something like that.
Okay.
And I have the whole application. And when we tried to find who the man was, we couldn't find him. Not find them. We came to a dead end. Oh, hi.
I know you have to go
My
soon.
daughter, no, my daughter. You want to say hello? I'm on.
Hello.
Come on in here. It's
I'm Janeane Bernstein.
Oh, hi. How are
Nice
you?
to meet you. Hi.
Okay.
I know you have to leave soon.
Yeah, she's going with me. There is a dinner for, I think, the honoring Burns. You know, the guy who made that movie, the 6 hours of Holocaust recently.
Oh, Ken Burns.
Yeah, Burns. Yeah,
Yes, Ken Burns. Wonderful.
yeah.
You're
So
going to that. What would you like people to know about the book? Anything in general about you or the book?
First, I want them to know that children know much more than adult things. You know, my mother used to say once in a while to me, she'd say, you know, I'm so happy you were so young. You couldn't possibly remember the terrible things. And to protect her, I said, you're right. I said, yeah, Mom, you're right. She says, oh, if you only knew some of the things. I said, oh, I don't know anything. And
To
it's very
protect her.
right. It's a protection. It's very common of my generation protecting our parents. She lost every single person, every brother, sister, 9 brothers and sisters.
Ugh.
Not even a single cousin came. Did you read the book by any chance?
I read part of it. I'm going to finish the book, but I
Okay.
read that about the cousins that she tried to save.
Right. You
had
know
death
what?
guilt.
And with that, she died with it. She was guilty for her entire life that she could have saved those 2 little girls. But so I want people to know the kids are extraordinarily knowledgeable, much more than we think.
Mhm.
And then to that this world, we have to be careful because this is what's going to happen. When the adult fight, the children are the ones that carry the burden.
Yes.
And they are the ones that have to live with it for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
So and what hatred does to people, you know, what hatred does to human beings. If we allow ourselves to hate somebody or something we don't like and act on it, you sort of it becomes worse and worse and worse, and you don't stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
It started very not so terribly. All they did was burn some books in the beginning. They burned literature, right?
Right.
And then, and somebody said, somebody wise, I don't know who, but he said, when people allow themselves to burn books and ideas, they will eventually burn people. And that's what happened.
And that's
Exactly.
what happened. Yeah.
So you got to be careful. That's all.
Well, I think there's a lot of important messages in here that can apply to 2022 about being a better human.
Exactly. We all have good and bad in us, every one of us. That's how we were created. I think it's our duty to suppress the bad.
Yes.
It's our duty.
Yes.
That's our, you know what? I just thought of it. That's really is our job on this earth. It's to suppress the meanness and and to stop hurting other people and maybe leave the place a little bit better than we found it.
Beautiful. Thank you. And be kinder.
That's it. Be kinder. Yeah.
Well, I know you have to go. I've really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your book. And I put it on my show blog on my website, which is otbseries.com. And this has been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.